Bruce Lee to Bob Wall was an amazingly rare, wonderful, kind, funny, brilliant genius. He was a shooting star. Every time he entered a room, he just captured the room.
Balls don't hit back.
But most importantly, when I do my seminars about Bruce, I explain to people, you know him because he was a brilliant martial artist, because he had a great body, because he was charming. But I knew him as a really fun companion, a kind guy. If you stripped away a lot of the things that the public knows about him, like his brilliant martial arts skills and his cinematic skills, you would love to hang with him. He was just a charming companion. He was a fun workout partner. He was very intense. He was very goal-oriented, aggravated about being a minority and treated as such for his entire life. Wanted to expand opportunities in films for Asians, and obviously became the first Asian leading man. But I knew him as a friend, and I was blessed to know Bruce for 10 years. Bruce was a really interesting guy. He was kind to children. He was a good husband, a good father, and a very good friend. And certainly was a blessing for me to get to know him because he wanted his goals. He wanted to be a superstar. And he trained some superstars, from Steve McQueen, James Coburn, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and many others. He was a very highly paid private instructor. But for him, it was only a stepping stone to get where he wanted to be. And it was kind of interesting that he trained Steve McQueen, who at that time was the highest paid actor in the world. And Steve would have liked to have been Bruce, and Bruce certainly wanted to be Steve McQueen.
A lot of people go through life doing things badly. Racing's important to men who do it well. When you're racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting.
Now, as a fighter, Steve McQueen, now he is good in that department because that son of a gun got the toughness in him.
So I remember when I was leaving to do Into the Dragon, I thought I would tease Bruce. I always was teasing him, kidding him. So I told Steve I was heading out for Into the Dragon. I said, you know, he really wants to be you, Steve. And he said, well, I want to be him. I said, well, there's this Apex. Why don't you give me an autographed photograph for him? So he did. I got to Hong Kong and I gave him the autographed photograph, Steve McQueen, to Bruce Lee, my #1 fan. Bruce was so angry, ripped it up. Because he thought it was very cocky of Steve to say he was his #1 fan. But it was interesting, the dynamic. They had great affection for each other. They were both brilliant. I loved Steve as much as I did Bruce. But to me, Bruce was a classic shooting star, brilliantly talented, filmatic martial artist genius.